Well, they want to come out and try to get the run game established, but up front defensively, they made a play. They gave up nothing on that one.
Got to find some breathing room if you're going to establish yourself on the ground, and there wasn't any that time.
Yeah, Reese, I wonder now if this offense is maybe going to try to get to the perimeter of the field and see if they can use their speed to hurt this defense.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Dropping back, it's Beck. Firing to the right, complete. And he was knocked down immediately short of the line to gain. They'll have to make a decision here. Now the quarterback changing the original play call. On 4th down, he'll try to toss it. He's got it, and they convert. And he'll haul it in and take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Dogs!
I love the aggressive nature in the play calling there. In the opening drive in the game, you have an opportunity on 4th down. Obviously, you just kick a field goal, take the lead early, establish some momentum. Instead, they get aggressive. They go for it, and not just get it. They score a touchdown.
PAT unit on the field. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. They put together a 5-play, 75-yard drive. And they cover the final 29 yards with that touchdown pass. Kickoff team has the ball teed up, and they're about ready to go. Fair catch, called for and made. Here comes the offense on 1st down. Give to the running back. Runs through a tackle. Crosses the 30 to the 31, a 6-yard gain.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on 1st down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
Looking downfield, it's Milroe. Looking to buy time. He's run out of bounds, but he's got enough to move the sticks.
QB's got to be able to play on so many different levels. They got to read coverages, know the snap count, know what everybody's doing, and then does a great job at the end making something out of nothing, making a positive play, picking up a new set of downs, a new set of problems for this defense.
You know, I think a big part of this isn't necessarily scoring a touchdown on that play, but you're just trying to get your offensive line in the rhythm of the game. Let those big fellas get lathered up.
A confident, tough, efficient run gets it up to the 44. 3rd and short from the 44, and we might know if they plan to go for it on 4th down by what they call here. They'll try to get it through the air. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
3rd and short like that on your own side of the field, you're just looking for a quick hitter. You're trying to get the ball out of your hand quickly, but the timing completely off there for the offense, and the ball falls incomplete.
This is an opportunity to show your offense you believe in them. Their opening drive of the game, still in their own territory, going for it on 4th down. This is not leather helmet era football. This is analytics around midfield, 4-down territory. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. They told us they were going to be aggressive no matter where they were on the field. Didn't take long to prove it. Going for it on 4th down in their first drive. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And the incomplete pass, they roll the dice. Snake eyes.
And this offense chooses to be aggressive. Listen, once you start getting to midfield, you see most offenses be aggressive, and they took their chance, and they failed. Now, early in the game, a chance to create momentum to swing back to the other side of the football field.
Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down.
This pass rush is serious, man. When you watch them on film, they do a nice job in the back end, taking away all the throws downfield. He's trying to get to his check down, but that pressure gets to him, and the hit forced the incomplete.
Back to throw, it's Beck. Right down the middle. A strike downfield. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Georgia!
This guy is so dangerous because of his speed. He can take the top off the defense, and he did it right there on the post. Great arm talent, getting the throw out in front of him. It didn't matter how many DBs they had deep on that one. I don't think they could have stopped him.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll call for the fair catch here. Here comes that Alabama offense. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively for this unit, they've been...
And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13. They're going to be in a world of hurt if they don't get this thing going forward here on 2nd down from the 13. Moving the running back, trying to get the D to tip its hand. He's going for a big play downfield. Snags it down the right side. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle was finally made. Big-time playmakers on the outside. Now, look, Alabama's had great receivers. Ozzie Newsome, David Palmer way back in the day. But nowadays, it's sort of part of the DNA for the Crimson Tide.
Man, the run they had for several years was unbelievable with Judy and Ruggs and Cooper and Devontae Smith. Like, we can just keep going on guy after guy after guy that they had that wore that uniform that was a big-time elite playmaker on the outside.
Looking for a man. It's Milroe. Quarterback moving out of the pocket. He'll take another shot here. A full dive to haul that one in. Now the chance to pay off that big play from just outside the 5. With the run on 1st and goal. Knocked down after a gain of 1. They'll mark it at the 6. They'll try to open the quarter by cashing in on this big opportunity deep in the red zone. On 2nd down, he'll let it fly. Now adjusting. Lets it fly. And it's caught. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. Big-time touchdown there to get some much-needed momentum.
You got to find something, right? Who you going to go to make that big play to get you back into it? You're not back in it yet. It's not tied. You're not there yet, but you're starting to inch back into it and get some momentum going.
He's got it in the end zone for the 2 as they draw a little closer. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make, because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
Georgia comes quickly to the line. The Dogs have had a long history of scrappy and efficient quarterbacks. Add a little star power to it, and you've got something working.
You definitely get a little extra something. We see it all across college football. You find that dude at the quarterback spot, it takes you from good to great, and you've seen that with Georgia over the last several seasons.
Looking to pick up a first down on 3rd and short from the 43. Motion by the back forces the defense to adjust. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. Looking for a man. It's Beck. Looking down the middle. It's caught. And this offense is feeling it as they rip off a big chunk of yardage, and they've got it on the 22.
On 3rd down, offenses have their plays. What they like in 3rd and short, what they like 3rd and medium, 3rd and long. Great job by the offense having success. Now it's incumbent on the defense to learn their plays and try to shut it down throughout the game.
Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. He's looking to throw. Coming after him. Makes the grab. It's Etienne. And they wrap him up, but not before he's got enough for the first down. And the Bulldogs come to the line with a new set of downs. The give from the gun. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Bulldogs!
This running back was not going to be denied. Nice blocking up front to create a hole for this running back, and he was able to take advantage.
Let's see if they can roll snake eyes in a good way and get the deuce. Looking to throw. Unloads to the wideout. Throw into the end zone. It's picked off. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. Rolls onto the field. Last time they had it, they took it down the field for a touchdown. They can build some confidence that they could go back-to-back scoring drives here.
Yeah, and remember, it's not uncommon for offense.
He uncorks one deep. He'll fire back across his body, and it's intercepted. Still on his feet at the 45. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Man, that is how you get it done as a defense when you're playing cover one. Like, you got the middle of the field safety, but everybody else is manning up. Nice job running with this guy, seeing the football, breaking on it, making the interception, making the big play for this defense.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. Second down here, and maybe they've got time to get one more snap off before the 2-minute warning. They'll throw again after the incompletion. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be 3rd down. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. Quarterback checking the play. Looking to throw, it's back. He makes the connection. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup. The Bulldogs come to the line in the hurry-up. On 4th down, they'll try to throw it. The completion well past the sticks. Finally pulled down, but not before moving the chains for a first down. Looking to throw it again. Floating away. Got out of trouble and throws. Finds his man. It's Smith. And he'll be smacked to the ground. Aga trying to make this red zone trip pay off. Dialing up a second down pass play. It's incomplete, and he's lucky to get that one back. Almost intercepted. We'll see if they go back to the air after the incompletion. It's 3rd and 5. In the gun, looking to throw on 3rd down. He makes a grab, and he'll run out of bounds just short of the goal line. Wanted to get it in, but couldn't quite get home.
And listen, the defense knew coming into this one, they were going to target him early and often. He is a weapon, and there's no mystery where the quarterback's going to be looking on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him throughout the rest of this game.
Trying to pound it in. Touchdown, Dogs! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
And the offense continues to run the football. The second rushing touchdown from the running back. The offensive line paving holes. Continue to feed this man the ball.
Back to pass, it's Beck. He's got it. 2-point try is good as they build on this lead. So they got the touchdown, and as they kick off, really important for the defense to shut them down here. Fair catch called for and made. That Alabama offense. They find themselves in a pretty deep hole here, but maybe a chance to grab a little momentum and regroup at halftime.
Yeah, a big chance. Like this is an opportunity. This is the biggest opportunity in front of them in the game right now. You got to get some.
Trying to burn this defensive back. Brings it down on the right side. He's off to the races. And he'll take it all the way. They couldn't bring him down. Touchdown, Bama! And now they'll empty the backfield for the 2-point try. Fast motion from the offense. From the gun, looking for a man. He's got it in the end zone for the 2 as they trim more off of that lead. They got the late touchdown on the board, now about to kick it away and hoping the defense can keep them from answering. He'll call for the fair catch here. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. They've got time, they've got the lead, and David is sort of like a doctor. First, do no harm.
Do no harm, but
he's going for the big play. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge game if he could have held on. After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. Trying to get to him. Under heat, and he gets rid of it. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. Dropping back, it's Beck. Quickly out to the tight end. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on 3rd down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
On 4th down, trying to find his man. Makes the grab well past the sticks. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down. The definition of, and let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look. And you know the standard is indisputable video evidence, and the officials will change the call. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. They're already in field goal range, but Jesse, they want to be aggressive, but they can't take a negative play.
Well, the play caller's got to look up and down his sheet here to find a shot to the end zone, David. Be aggressive and see if you can get a touchdown late.
While knowing that I've got 3 in my back pocket. Don't force the ball into a bad situation, but we're definitely trying to get a touchdown.
Second down after that incompletion. He's looking to throw. Deep shot for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown Tide.
And I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement, and be like, listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
Looking to the big tight end. Makes the grab for the two-point conversion as they cut further into that lead. They didn't have a whole lot of real estate in front of them when they took over possession, but they wasted no time. Couple of plays into the end zone. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? Back to pass. It's back. Starting to feel a little pressure. That one will be incomplete, and we are down to 10 seconds to go. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Leaves it with the back. And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Looking for a gap. It's Etienne. They make the stop, and that is the end of the first half. So that's going to do it here in the first half. Stay tuned for the halftime break. Go ahead and roll the dice to start this second half. They're lined up for an onside kick. Not much drives more anxiety than waiting to see if the hands team can corral the onside kick, and they do. Here comes that Alabama offense. They had a really productive first half, but in a game like this, they better keep it up.
You know, at halftime, the offense and defense separate, and they kind of go over their own adjustments. You know the offense was saying to themselves very quietly, guys, we're not going to stop anybody.
He's going to fire deep. And they took a shot on that one, but couldn't make the connection. It's incomplete. It is a valuable tool to have a quarterback that can extend a play like that. But sometimes you're smart to be check down Charlie and just take something easy and not invite disaster.
Because when you roll out, you're rolling out, you're cutting the field in half, right? The defense starts to run from one side to where you're rolling out to. The field kind of shrinks, and it kind of becomes a little bit of backyard ball. And you could tell he forced that one in there. Didn't get the interception.
And he's got it inside the 20. Touchdown, Alabama! An epic comeback. They'll talk about this one forever if they can hold on, but they're on top right now. Like a Thanksgiving turkey. They're just being carved. No shot. They have no idea how to get in this quarterback's head.
He's on fire. Everything he's doing is working defensively. We got to figure something out. We got to try to do something a little bit different. Bring more pressure. At this rate, shoot, he's on so much fire, you might as well just send everybody. Blitz everybody, live with the results, because everything else ain't working anyways.
To the air. It's Milroe. Buys a little time with his feet. Just a bit of a misfire there as they can't make the connection. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. The give to the back. Get him on the ground after a 4-yard run out to the 31. Georgia going up tempo. The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. Wants to throw on second down. Fires to the wideout. Grabbed over the middle. It's Evans. That defense got gashed, but they finally get him to the turf at the 47.
That's an absolute strike right there. Giving me some Stetson Bennett vibes, some Aaron Murray vibes, even Matthew Stafford with the arm talent on that throw. I'll tell you, they can attack any spot of the field in the passing game because of this guy's talent.
On second down, looking again to throw. Grabbed behind the line. It's dealt. And that is good versatility there and a big hit from the backer in pass coverage. Third down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. From the gun, wants to pass. And it's incomplete despite some serious arm strength shown there. This is hardly a surprise after converting their first 2 fourth-down attempts. They'll try it again. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Whoa, does he turn that loose down the middle. Can't hook up on the long throw, and fourth down goes by the boards for this offense.
I love when defenses are smart enough to swat the ball down. Don't go for the pick, especially on fourth down. They knock it down. You get the ball anyways. Nice job by the defender.
Going up top on first down. They're trying to get to it. Might be looking to run. Oh, he's going backwards, in trouble, and down he goes. A tremendous loss. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. Not a lot of productivity on that last play. They'll try it again on second and long from the 23. To the air, it's Milroe. Buys a little extra time. He'll let one go down the right side. He's got it downfield for a huge gain.
What a beautiful throw and catch on this play, and I love the job the receiver did tracking the ball in the air. Nice job of locating the throw and then hauling it in.
Bully ball on third and short. And from this angle, I don't think he got the first down. The defense won at the line of scrimmage. On fourth down, going to the air. Throws to the wideout. Makes the grab, and he's got the first. Sometimes we don't give enough credit to a receiver knowing exactly where he needs to be on the field, and they pick up the first down there.
Yeah, and you've got to give the receiver credit, obviously knowing where that is, but the defender needs to know where it is too. Where is he trying to get? That ball's going to come out quick. He didn't really understand where the sticks were, and because of that, he gives up the first down. Need to just be a little bit more aware as a defensive guy.
All kinds of room to throw that one in there. And he'll be run out of bounds, and these guys are piling up some serious yardage totals. He's looking to throw. Fires into the end zone. Throws it back across his body, and what do you think happened? Intercepted.
Not all guys have the ability to break on the football, go make a play, and catch it. You play defense for a reason. A lot of wide receivers are the ones that do most of the catching. Great job by the defense securing the INT.
Shoots it to the left. That is just a sideline clinic. Roll, catch, toe drag, everything you want. Georgia comes quickly to the line.
And I love that play call. There's a great example of sudden change situation, right? Your defense gets the turnover. You get it right back. The very first play, let's be aggressive. Let's take a shot and see if we can catch the defense napping. Boy, oh boy, did that ever work out great.
I think Jesse and Reese could call offensive plays for any team if they're having this much success on the ground. It starts with the ground game, right? Like, you can chew up these kind of plays, then I can play action later on and take shots. But right now, defense has first got to stop the run game that's been chewing them out.
Line getting set on second down. Looking to throw, it's Beck. They're working that left side. And the defense able to drag him down, but not before. They'll recycle that down marker. Looking to move it through the air. And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete. Final play of the quarter coming.
Well, I know that one fell incomplete, but what a day this guy has had throwing the football. Multiple touchdowns, and he's done a really nice job with his decision-making. Hasn't thrown any picks, which has really helped keep this offense on schedule.
And he was able to work his way for just a few, and that will do it for the third quarter. Now facing a third down as they line up after the break. From the gun, wants to pass. Quarterback floating away from pressure. All kinds of time to survey the field, and he throws left. Touchdown, Georgia! And with that, they move out front here in the fourth.
And some of these guys make it look so easy, but these are tight windows down here, man. There's not a lot of space on the field, and he drops back, knows exactly where he's going with the football, throws it in there, makes the play, and more importantly, now his team is in the lead in the fourth quarter.
Fair catch, called for and made. They had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions, but I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did in the first part of that drive, what made me successful.
I agree.
And they got him. They'll get him down for the sack.
Well, quarterback went down behind center pretty quick that time, and it makes you wonder as a play caller, against this pass rush, do you start thinking about maybe rolling your quarterback out and changing the launch point?
Wants to throw. It's Milroe. Trying to beat the D deep. And he throws another interception, his third one of the night. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
Dude, 2 drives, 2 INTs. I don't know who the backup quarterback is, but I might start thinking about doing something. Goodness gracious, keep turning the football over. Can't do it. Can't put your defense in a bad spot time after time.
They'll throw it on first down. He unleashes a long one. He caught it, and he will score. Touchdown, Bulldogs!
And the big play starts with the protection up front. This takes a long time to develop. He's going to start all the way on the right side, run all the way across the field, so you got to have protection. He hangs in there, throws the football perfectly.
And it's intercepted, maybe breathing a little life into this team. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll call for the fair catch here. Here comes that Alabama offense. Mistakes are going to happen, as they did on that last drive. Now, how will they respond, Jesse?
And this is the kind of guy who's going to take full accountability. That was my bad. That's on me. I'm about to lead this offense now down the field to score some points.
Dang, Palmer, I wish I would have played with you. I didn't play with many quarterbacks that were just like, yeah, my bad. Hey, guys, I got this. Sorry about that. It was more, should have ran a better route.
Last incompletion leaves them still sitting at their own 25 with 2nd and 10. He's got him this time. Out across the 30 mark, down at the 35 after the 10-yard gain. They'll snap it on 1st down from the 35. He's going to pass. Flushed out of the pocket. Now he'll throw back into the middle. For the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Well, they didn't let him get loose for a big return, but he still made the big play, and they'll take over at the 17. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. He'll come out throwing on 1st down. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. And the Dogs want to pick up the tempo.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They've been trying all game long, different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy. That's why the ball falls incomplete.
And he picked up the 1st down, but he will remember the price he paid after that hit. The analytics nerds say the goal was at least 4 yards on 1st and 10. The back goes in motion. To throw, it's Beck. The sweet feet buy a little time. This will be picked off, maybe just the turning point they needed. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession. All right, guys, so here's the offense back on the field again. Wide out in motion. Trying to find his man on 1st down. And here's the 5th interception by this quarterback. Got some room to run. Oh, that was a terrific return as he takes it to the 9.
Man, this defense did a perfect job understanding the situation. You know you got the lead. You know they're going to be passing. And you come after the quarterback, get the big hit. You get pressure on the quarterback, good things happen, and they make the big INT.
Quarterback on the keeper. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
I'll tell you, this is a hard defense to run against if you're going to go sideline to sideline because of that guy's speed. A linebacker, he can get all the way to the perimeter, chase the quarterback down on the option, and make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Impressive.
Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. He wants to throw here on 2nd down. Fires to the end zone. Had it in his hands for the score and let it fall to the turf. It'll be 3rd down. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. Motion from the offense. Turning to the running game here on 3rd and goal. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. They'll try to tack on a little extra to this lead with a touchdown here on 4th and goal. Back to throw, it's Beck. Fires into the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Dogs!
Salt into wound, right? Late in the 4th quarter, you can run the football, run this game out. No, sir. I'm going to continue to pad my stats, find my receiver out wide, and give me another touchdown.
And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. And they take another look at the play, but the officials on the field were right, and the play will stand. And now with the extra point, they're up by 18 here in the 4th. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they top it off with a 14-yard pass for the touchdown. He'll bring it out. It's Adams. That is a decision he will likely regret. He brings it out of the end zone, and he's knocked down at the 10. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. This has been a really disappointing performance, David. No question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we'd have just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David. But I'll say this, if you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance. You've got to lock in. You've got to take the week of practice very seriously and find those positives that you can build off, David, you're talking about.
And back to the air on second down. Unloads to the wideout. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
Well, this guy must feel like he's run into a buzzsaw in this game. He has been under duress all game long, and that's a big reason why he's thrown multiple interceptions in the game, too. Nothing coming easy to him. It's hard to see the field when your internal clock is going off so fast because of the pressure of this defense, and that's why they find themselves.
And he throws yet another interception. Does he know which colored jerseys they're wearing? Oh, that was a terrific return as he... Welcome, everybody, and we are fired up for another sensational college football matchup. Nobody at home today who can stake their claim in this neutral site showdown. Coaches like to say no game is more important than any other. But when you have a couple of top 10 teams ready to square off, yeah, that one carries a little more weight. As we'll see the number 4 team in the country, the Ohio State Buckeyes, taking on the 6th-ranked team in the land, the Texas Longhorns. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. And the Longhorns will kick it away to start us off. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They're going to throw it to start the drive. They're bringing heat. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf. The Buckeyes racing to the line in the hurry-up.
Pressure got to the QB that time. He was trying to find his check down out of the backfield, but the hit forced the incomplete.
Going to take a shot. And it's caught inside the 30. Huge plays like that can change the complexion of the game, and he's got it at the 22-yard line. That last big play has them in business just outside the red zone. It's 1st and 10. Dropping back, it's Howard. Release to the back. It's complete. He's run out of bounds after the big gain, and they are in business. 1st and goal. He'll set up to throw.
That's why this offense is so hard to stop, guys. This quarterback can hurt you throwing it and running it. With his speed, he can make people look silly, and you saw it right there on the opening drive in the game. What a beautiful touchdown goal.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. From a couple of yards deep, he'll bring it out. And the returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. First down for this offense. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Offense in an empty set. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. Oh, the offense very fortunate to fall on that football.
Woo. Deep breath, right? Man, you fumble that thing, you cough it up, you're like, oh, I really appreciate you, brother. I can't tell you how much I thank you because the coaches would have been all over me, but big-time break for the offense.
Flying down the right side. The 40. The 30. He's at the 10. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, Longhorn! Two-point conversion attempt is on the way. Back to throw, it's Ewers. Makes the grab in the end zone for the 2, and they go on top 8-7. You don't see this very often, an early onside kick when you have the lead. Ball skips out of bounds, penalty flag flies, and the onside kick is unsuccessful. The offense lining up for a first down play. They'll give it to the back. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. And the Buckeyes want to crank the tempo. Quarterback wants to throw on second down. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
And you're seeing the pass rush on the second play of the drive. They dial it up. Look at the speed and athleticism this defense has as they corral the quarterback for a loss.
Buys a little time. They get to him as he throws. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and fourth down's coming.
We're already in the first quarter, but already you get the feeling this could be a long day for this QB. He's already been sacked. He gets hit right there on the incomplete throw. They've got to find a way to do a better job up front of protecting this guy, or it's going to be difficult to put up points.
Receivers telling the quarterback what they see. On fourth down, they'll throw for it. Hubs it downfield. Finds him out of the backfield. And a big-time grab there. Knocked down immediately, but not before he gets it to the 40. They were willing to spin that wheel of fortune in their own territory, and it paid off.
And it came up good. I mean, I think you see the aggressiveness by these offenses now, willing to go for it on their own territory, and I like it because they got it.
And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one. Looking at a second and short now. Running back goes in motion. Back to the air one more time. Throws to the back. Caught near the sticks. It's Henderson. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a first down. The Buckeyes are on the move. Trying to cap this drive with the pass. Rolls it in. Stopped at the 3, but it'll be enough to give them a first and goal. On the doorstep of cashing it in for the offense. Looking to pass. It's Howard. Takes the easy completion. And that will go backwards. A negative play, and that defense on high alert that time. They lost ground on first down. Now 2nd and goal from the 5. Pre-snap motion, quarterback trying to get a read. He's looking for an open man on 2nd down. And it'll be intercepted in the end zone. He'll go down right there, but what a big play to come up with that turnover. The Longhorns sending the offense back onto the field. David, they'd love to do what they did last time and put this one in the end zone. You ain't lying. They did a great job. The offense was clicking. Everything went well, Palmer. They executed and got the touchdown.
And they really were in a nice rhythm as well. I'd love to see that here on the next drive, too. Just keep doing what you're doing. Everything seems to be working, and you seem to have this defense on their heels.
And they couldn't make the connection on the long shot.
Well, I like this quarterback being aggressive and taking a shot. Just a better play there by the defense.
2nd down coming up. He's looking to throw. Feeling some heat. Got his man downfield. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. And the Longhorns come to the line with a fresh set of downs. He wants to throw. He lets it fly. And it falls incomplete. But it could have been much, much worse as the defender was right there. Just enough time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. To the air, it's Ewers. Looking left. Just masterful working that sideline and getting the toe down for the catch. They'll start the drive here with first down to open this period. He's looking to throw it. Using his legs to buy some time. And he will wisely throw it to the kid playing the tuba.
Good decision by the QB. You're outside the pocket. You're trying to find an open target. No one's open. Throw it away and live to play another day.
They'll go back to work after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 36. He's looking to throw. And makes the grab in the end zone. Touchdown, Texas! No backs with the quarterback as they line up for the 2. Wants to pass. Using his feet to buy time. Throw to the end zone, picked off. They want to get the ball right back here in the first half. They've got the lead and going for the onside kick. And a few anxious moments, but the hands team is able to fall on it.
And you don't see a lot of these. You don't see a lot of onside kicks earlier in the game, especially in the second quarter. You still feel each other out. You're still getting into the game. You don't want to give away that momentum, but that's exactly what they did by failing on that onside kick.
He'll try to do it himself. Ball is loose. Well, the offense looks as if they fell on the fumble, and they'll keep the ball. The Buckeyes moving quickly to the line. To the air, it's Howard.
And on that outbreaking route, really it's designed for the receiver to make the catch before falling out of bounds. Nice timing and anticipation by the quarterback on that throw.
On 3rd and short, they'll try to throw for it. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the first down, and he slides in safely. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs.
Nice job. Nice way to end that play for the QB. He does a really good job scrambling, getting the first down, and getting down. Because defensively, I'm trying to get a...
Touchdown, Ohio State! Reeled it in and just made the house call.
Forget about those tight ends, right? They come up and they block most of the time. And a lot of time near the line of scrimmage. And then occasionally, offenses do a great job. Get creative. Find a way to get a good matchup for the tight end. And he does the rest and gets in for 6.
All tied up and just about set to kick it away. Here come the horns. They've got it again on offense. The way this game started, you feel as if you have to score a touchdown every time you have it, and now we'll see if they can respond.
Yeah, and I wonder how much pressure that puts on the offense. Jesse, like, you know this is back and forth. I got to score, and every possession matters so much. What does that do to you as a quarterback?
Well, it puts a lot more pressure on you for sure to feel like I got to make every third down throw. If guys are open vertically down the field, I got to hit them too. We can't let our serve get broken.
They'll throw it on first down. Finds his man. It's Bolden. They make the stop right there. Good pickup. It's still short of the first down. Got the completion on the last play. Still some work to do on second down. The corners are walked up tight. Scanning the field. It's Ewers. Receiver looks it in. It's complete. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a first down.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's third best cornerback. This guy
grabs it inside the 10. They get him stopped at the 2, but it'll be first and goal. So close to cashing it in for this offense. Trying to surge it in. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. Whatever the fastest tempo they have is, that's what they'll use. On second down, he'll fire. Hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, Longhorn! And now they'll try to get the 2-point conversion, guys. Trying to run it in. And he's able to shed one tackle, but still, just a very short gain. They already have the lead, and they apparently want more here in the first half, going for the onside kick. Looks as if the hands team will be able to recover the ball. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
We're only in the first half, and I don't think anybody had onside kick in the second quarter on their bingo card. They were trying to catch the opponent off guard, but it didn't work. Now let's find out what this offense can do. You have got to make them pay for gambling.
Quarterback checking off. Looking downfield, it's Howard. Moves around to clear up the vision. Hit as he throws. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. Pre-snap motion in the backfield. On second down, he'll let it fly. He lets one fly deep. He caught it. And he wanted to score badly, but the defense wrestles him down at the 2. They'll rush to the line. Clock stopped for the first down. They'll set the chains and wind the clock. They'll try to get it in with the run. rise. And welcome to the offensive showcase, my friend. That was a lightning-fast drive that ends with a touchdown.
Yeah, if you could string a few more drives like that together, man, we might as well get our popcorn out because we're going to get a lot of scoring.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. From back of the end zone, he'll bring it out. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Here comes the Texas offense. These two defenses have had their heads spinning here in the first half, and now we might even see a little more scoring with this drive.
It's going back and forth. This is like two heavyweights just trading blows, David. What does this defense got to do to get a stop here?
I tell you what, man, when you're giving up points like this and you've got no momentum, you got to find somebody that can make a play to create something. And listen, if they're scoring anyways, let's be aggressive. Let's blitz more. Let's make sure we're making them feel discomfort in some way, shape, or form.
Got to get to the line quickly for this third down play. Looking to throw, it's Ewers. It's complete to the left. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the first down. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. The Longhorns will line it up on 1st and 10. Looking to move it through the air. Fires to the wideout. Got him downfield. And chunk plays are the name of the game, and they get one here before the defense finally makes the stop. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Getting some heat. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
That's what this defense has to do, guys. They've got to knock this quarterback down to the ground. He's already thrown a couple of TDs. The only way you're going to stop that is with good quarterback pressure.
He's going to pass on 2nd down. Pocket starts to collapse. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. They were on the move, but 2 straight incompletions have them staring at 3rd and 10. From the gun, wants to pass. Snares it outside, it's Golden. And he goes down after making the grab. Picked up a few, but he's still short of the first down marker. Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. They really have no choice here. This is a no-brainer. You go for it here on this 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Caught near the sticks. It's Bond.
That's a great example of the receiver knowing exactly where the first down marker is. He got the depth he needed to get, so once he was able to make the catch, he already knew he had it, and now a fresh set of downs.
Pulls it in. It's Baxter. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there. That running back looks as if he'd be at home in the receiver room with that footwork along the sideline.
Yeah, Reese, this defense is going to have their hands full because this is a complete running back. He's not good just blocking or running with the football, but he can catch it as well.
Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Dropping back, it's Ewers. Fires deep toward the end zone. And he's got it! Touchdown, Texas! This dude is lighting it up for the Horns, and some old-school Horn fans starting to think about that 500-yard 4-touchdown day Vince Young had against Oklahoma State.
I'm bringing back great memories, and there's been some good runs at quarterback. You think about Colt McCoy, too, man. He put up some serious numbers, some serious wins. Can this be the next guy to catapult this offense, to bring Texas back to prominence?
He'll bring it out. It's Ballard. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out in the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Just enough time to get off one final play of the half. Quarterback will audible. To the air on first down. Pressure coming. The pass falls incomplete, and that's how we'll finish this half. That's going to wrap it up here in the first half. Stay tuned. Second half not too far away. This is really aggressive here. Still just a one-possession game in the third quarter, and they're going for the onside kick. They'd hope to get that thing bouncing around, but the hands team is able to corral it.
Well, they're trying to pounce on their opponent with the lead in the second half, trying to steal a possession, but give the return team credit. They may not have been set up perfectly for that onside kick, but they're Johnny on the spot, and now their offense is licking their chops, hoping to go down and score.
Time to take a shot. Just missed his man, gave him just a little too much. Really need positive yards on second down. After the incompletion, they'll snap it from the 44. Looking downfield, it's Ewers. Blasted as he lets it go. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. A third and long coming up here. From the gun, wants to pass. Quick completion on the out. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down. The Longhorns in the hurry-up. On fourth down, looking for the completion. Now he's going to break the pocket. He's got a first down and maybe a lot more. He's run out of bounds, but he's got enough to move the sticks. The Longhorns with the 1st and 10. He's going to pass. Lets it fly deep downfield. Falls incomplete, and he did everything perfectly except catch the football. Second down coming. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. They keep attacking through the air. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
This QB has been so comfortable all day long. Obviously having a ton of success. You've got to affect him. You've got to put some hits on him, those body blows, so you can make him wear out and physically feel you. This is the first time really getting to him. This defense needed this bad.
The sweet feet keeping the play alive. He goes out of bounds after a solid gain on the play.
You know, I think that was nickel right there, and I do like bringing in an extra DB. Why? Not only can that guy cover in the slot, but he can also blitz. You can kind of disguise and hide what you're doing because you got more guys that can really rush the passer or cover in the back end. So nice disguise, nice play.
Quick toss.
Goodness gracious. That's 3 for 3 now on 4th downs. That's just, it's nuts. I don't think you're going to make a living on this. I don't think you're always going to make this happen defensively. Just keep trying to get them to 4th down. You're going to get a stop on one of these plays.
And the Longhorns have their offense in high gear. Back to throw, it's Ewers. Coming after it. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
Doesn't take this defense a lot of time to get to the quarterback, man. They've got speed all over the place. They hit him so quickly, and because of that, the ball falls incomplete.
Gets it out fast. He picks up 4. That'll leave them with 3rd and 6. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Almost intercepted, and what a momentum swing that could have been, but they still force a 4th down.
Yeah, and 3rd and short, they choose not to run, throw the football, and I think a lot of that has to do with they know they're in field goal range. They can take the 3 points on the board.
Man, they have been great on 4th down. A perfect 3 for 3. They'll try it again here. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Now improvising. Ball into the end zone, and it's intercepted. Taking it the other way. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, the 10. And he's going to take it all the way. Touchdown, Ohio State. This time it's the defense finding ways to put points on the board.
There is nothing better than being a defender, seeing that ball in the end zone. Your eyes get big as saucers. Go, jump on that puppy, secure it, get you a touchdown.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point was made without incident, and we're tied up here in the third. And we're all square as he's set to kick it away. He'll return it. That's the kind of mistake that throws off your game plan. Come out of the end zone and you're stopped at the 8. So now the Longhorns take over and they'll send out the offense. This possession will be a test after squandering that long drive, throwing a pick six, Jesse.
You're right, Reese. Well, I think this is really dependent, too, on the leaders in this huddle right now to step up and help this offense get back on pace here on this drive.
Yeah, and this defense is frothing at the mouth. They're excited. They're jacked up. They just made a big play. They got all the momentum, so they're ready to hunt.
Looking for a man. It's Ewers. Trying to get to him. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be third down. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. On third and long, he has to throw for it. And down he goes back at the 3. And the Longhorns headed quickly to the line. On fourth down, they're taking to the air. Throws to the wideout. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And he's going to run it all the way back. Touchdown, Buckeyes!
Yeah, how about that, man? Fourth down, trying to go make a play, get this offense going, get it sparked, get some points on the board. And that couldn't have gone any worse. They throw the pick. Not only that, they return it all the way back for 6. That offense just shot themselves right in the foot.
And here comes the Texas offense back on the field. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick six, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously.
Going deep. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on. After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Couldn't connect on first down. Now back to the air. Chucked it away just as he was hit. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. And he's picked off again. His night vision hasn't been up to speed. His 3rd interception.
I tell you what, I don't know if we can try him much more. Goodness gracious, you can tell he's ready for what he's seeing. 2nd interception. I would not throw near that guy anymore. You might want to try the other side of the field.
Now the quarterback changing the original play call. Looking for a man. It's Howard. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Power football with the run. And they try to run inside, and there is nowhere to go. And the last thing they need is to squander this great field position facing a 3rd and long. Unloads to the wideout. Fires and picked off. He'll go out of bounds, but just what they needed to get the ball back. A first down for the offense. Looking for a crease. It's Baxter. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. He's looking to throw. He'll take the deep shot. Makes the catch down the right side. And he's brought down after a huge completion. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Comes out throwing on first down. Oh, he loves to fire downfield. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't hook up.
Defense has not had an answer for this guy today. Already over 150 yards receiving. That time, the ball falls incomplete, but we haven't seen that happen too often.
And with the pressure on him, the quarterback goes down, and we've played 3 quarters here. They've changed ends of the field, now facing third down as they go back to work. Looking to throw, it's Ewers. Oh, he's going to try to hit him deep. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
And now such a tough situation. Late in this game, you're trailing, but now it's 4th and long. Like, it's one thing if it's 4th and short. This makes it even more difficult. You got to have something dialed up you feel really great about.
On 4th down, looking to pass. Going for the big play. And it's his 4th interception of the game. Got room on the return. The 40. He'll go out of bounds, but he gets the ball back, takes it the other way, and he has created a great sudden change opportunity.
And that is a back break. It's 4th down, though. Listen, you got to throw the football. You got to try to make a play. But the defense came up big in a big moment.
Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. After throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback right here, too. How does he fight through adversity after that last drive?
Yeah, clear the mechanism, move on. That's a part of it. Great player. You got to learn how to handle these mistakes and move on.
First down here for the offense. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. And it's picked off. That's the turnover they desperately needed. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
What a play by the defense. They're trailing here in the 4th quarter by 1 possession. Able to steal it away now and put their offense in position to at least go tie this game.
Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. Back to pass, it's Ewers. Fires to the wideout. Wide open downfield. Off he goes. He's inside the 40. The 20. He's at the 10. And he'll take it to the house. He got loose. Touchdown, Longhorn!
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. If this quarterback gets through his progression, David, hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have 1 remaining in the half. He'll try to tack on 1 more. And no problem on that extra point, and we have a tie ball game here in the 4th. If only it were always this easy for the offensive coordinator. 1 play, big chunk yardage, put points on the board just like that. defense there, but the hands team true to its name as they make the grab and get the ball. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him get back into a rhythm.
Yeah, or find him an easy handoff. Just hand the football off, maybe get the ground game going, maybe jumpstart this offense a little bit.
And the Buckeyes will hustle to the line. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. Dropping back, it's Howard. He's looking deep, and this is hauled in at the 20-yard line. And it is a chunk play, a huge gain on that one before the defense brings it to an end. They'll throw it from the red zone. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26. Second down now after the sack.
That is an example of a defender just stepping up and making a play. You just gave up a big completion down the field. That's not going to happen again. That's not happening on my watch. Right away, that D lineman decides to go after the QB, and he makes a big play.
Tosses it incomplete. They're close enough for a makeable field goal from the 26, but they'd love to convert this third and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. That's caught. It's Henderson. Oh, the ball popped out. That's a way to mess up a drive. Defense coming up with a huge fumble recovery.
Man, what a blow for this offense. You got the football in the fourth quarter, a chance to go take the lead. Now you turn it over. Your defense is going to have to go out there and step up for it.
They'll go to the ground. Hammers his way across the 10, picks up 4 to the 11. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. He's looking to throw. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. And he's left with no option. He just threw it away.
Like the job by the defense there in coverage. They took every option away from the quarterback. He was outside of the pocket, nowhere to go with it, so they forced the incompletion throwaway.
On third down, he drops the throw. Got the quick pass.
I think that's an example there on the out route. Receiver just has to know where the first down marker is. You got to stretch the depth of your route a little bit longer to make sure that once you catch it and you go out of bounds, you've already picked up the first. He wasn't able to do that, and now it sets up 4th and short.
He's got him, and they convert. He'll get it out to the 25, not bothered at all being backed up, and they've got a first down. The Longhorns come to the line with a new set of downs. He'll just keep slinging it. Quarterback strolling away from Heat. That's reeled in. It's Bolden. Just finds that little crevice, and he's still up. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. He wants to throw. They're trying to get to him. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
This really has been a master class by the quarterback with decision-making, right? We've already seen him throw multiple touchdown passes in the game. He's understood when to take his shots. To throw it away when things aren't there, like on that last play.
And now on second down for this offense. Back to pass, it's Manning. He's going to let it go. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away. Ball is at the 41 as this defense tries to force the punt on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. They're bringing heat. And the incomplete pass on 3rd down, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's about. 1st and 10 coming up. He's looking to throw it. Can't hang on, and he'll tell you he really should have made that catch, and he had an opportunity right in the middle. It'll be 2nd down. They've put this ball on lockdown. 8th play of the drive coming up. Wants to fire on 2nd down. Going downfield for the big play. And he hauls it in inside the 30. And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
And he'll pick up the 1st down after a tough run there.
1st down, you know you always want to establish the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football, be physical, get a big gain.
Down to the 12-yard line, it's 1st down. They're getting this guy lathered up. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Timeout called here by the defense. It's the first one they've used this half. Well, the most insightful analysis I can come up with on that one is that didn't work. Back to the drawing board to see if there's something that works a little better soon.
Or if I can quote the great Reese Davis, that was very ungood. Not a productive 1st down play.
Now on the option. Now the pitch. And that one will go and reverse the defense all over that pitch on the option.
You got to call the game to win it right now. Less than a minute to go. A field goal is going to do it for you. Every time you drop back and throw the ball, you're risking taking a sack. So if you're going to throw it, the ball's got to come out quickly. But I think at this juncture, you'd love to be able to run and give your field goal kicker a chance.
Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. Excellent coverage and good use of the hands to knock it away.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look there. 3rd and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage. So everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
On 4th down, they'll pass for it. Touchdown, Texas! And in the final moments, they've taken the lead. Getting set for the point after. The extra point is good, and now in the 4th, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. That is what they mean when they say ball control, a 14-play touchdown drive. And they top it off with a 14-yard pass for the touchdown. After scoring that touchdown, they'll try to get it right back with an onside kick. Cool as a cucumber as the hands team makes a sure catch.
Well, here in the 4th quarter, they were obviously expecting onside kick. They got their hands team on the field. They're able to jump on the ball and make sure they get possession.
Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. After that last drive, he came back to the sideline, and the coach probably said, "You dropped it? You didn't pick it up? Come on, get on the ball, David."
No, that's not what he said. He said, "You're doing a great job. Just keep your head up." Oh, yeah, he got blasted. You got to hold on to the football, Palmer. Turnovers decide games. Those are big plays.
It's tough on him, too, because he knows he let his offense down on that last drive. So you know that guy's eager and anxious to come out here and make a play.
He slings it deep to the left. Makes the grab, gets the foot down, just precision execution on that big play. Looking to pass inside the red zone. Bought a little time, lets it go. He's got his man. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening. Clock's running, and they'll try to get to the line warp speed for second down. They'll run it out of the shotgun. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Ohio State.
And great execution. That is how it's done late in the football game. Now, all you need is that extra point. Bring the kicker out there. This is what you do. Just like practice, knock it through the uprights, tie this football game, and we might be looking at overtime soon.
He will not make it to the end zone. The two-point conversion attempt fails, and they are still down by 1 here deep in the game. Only 14 seconds to play. The hands team on the field, and it'll come down to this onside kick. And in that scramble, they're going to come out of there with the football, and they get the onside kick and take possession right back. Remember, all they have to do is get it close enough for a field goal here. Quarterback checking the play. To the air, it's Howard. Makes a connection. And this defense's head is spinning. He gets it down to the 27. Timeout called by the offense. A mere 10 seconds to go in the game. They had hoped to come up with explosive plays, and they used one there to set them up inside the 30, 1st and 10. Throws toward the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And they've got the lead in the final minute.
Now, what a great job by this offense executing down the field, using all of the clock, being smart, getting the big score late, and I think that one should do it.
Trying to punch it in. And he was able to run through one tackle, but still only a modest gain. They might want to consider driving this one through on the ground, get him to... Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. Got to get everybody lined up quickly. Time winding away, and they've got to push the ball down the field. Looking to go up top on 1st down. Feeling some heat. And down he goes. Had a chance to pull one out of the fire, and the defense slammed the brakes on it, and that's going to do it. That's the entire scenario you build up in your head in the backyard. Final drive, everything on the line, and you get the W.
So dang cool. How many times did you do it in your backyard just like that, like you're talking about, Reese? Making the play to win the game on the final drive when your team needed it the most, Jesse. Just coming through in the clutch.
Yeah, as players, you love this, and that's why you rep it in practice throughout the week, these 2-minute type situations late in games. What are you going to dial up? What can you go execute? What can you lean on in order to get the W here? Great job by the offense.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.